Welcome to this post-exercise cool down and stretch off. So I invite you to come into a tabletop to start. Take the knees, hips width apart, hips over the knees, little bends in the elbows, grip into the mat. And from here we're just going to inhale into a cow, bellies ballooning, shoulder blades together, press out of the hands. Exhale up into a cat, chin to the chest, shoulder blades apart, tummy drawn in. And now just ripple the spine a few more times, breathing deeply and fully. Cow, we're going to turn the spine into a skipping rope held from the torso or from the shoulders and from the hips. You'll move the torso across to the right, exhaling up into a cat, chin to the chest. Then move the torso to the left, ballooning down and around. And then just keep moving, as if you're turning that spine into a skipping rope held from the shoulders and hips. Just helping you loosen off and work out any tension or tightness in the back, around the hips. Keep bends in the elbows, gripping into the mat as you go back the opposite way. Nice and slow. Rotation. Then come back into a neutral table. Once there, bring the knees together, hips over the knees. And we're going to start to draw a circle, the hips in any direction. Nice and slow, noticing where you're tight or clunky. If you need to put your knees onto a towel or a cushion to make it more comfortable, then do. Bends in the elbows. Just move slowly so you don't hurt yourself. You can stop yourself before going into something that you can't, so then go back the opposite way. Then when you're happy, come back into the centre, take your buttocks down to your heels, take the knees wide so your toes are touching at the back and come up onto your fingertips. Press out of those fingertips to the front and have a little rock from left to right, nice and slow. Go firm in the centre. Then bring your hands to prayer posture, hands in front of you. Lower the elbows to the floor, lower the head in between the arms, walk the elbows closer together so you're hugging the side of the head, and bring the hands above the head. Press the palms together, press out the elbows and breathe into those shoulders. Maybe having a little rock from left to right again if it feels good with the hips. All the while trying to breathe deeply and slowly. Hands down, come up onto your fingertips again. And then on the exhale, walk the hands across to the left. Reach your comfortable limit. Press out of the fingertips, breathe down the right hand ribs. Big breaths. On the next inhale, bring the hands back to the front. Anchor the left hand at the front, so you can exhale through the right arm underneath the left. Tucking the right shoulder, lowering the head down. You can have a high left elbow to the side to gently lever. Breathe into those shoulders. And when you're happy with the core engaged, return both hands to the front of the mat. Anchor the right hand, and when you're set, exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, tucking the left shoulder, lowering the head down. Have a high right elbow to the side to gently lever if it feels good. Big breaths. Engage, recover yourself back into a tabletop. Knees hips width apart, hips over the knees, and if it feels good, walk the hands forward for a puppy pose, a slightly deeper version. If you need to soften it, take the buttocks to heels, otherwise have a little rock at the shoulders, or the hips from left to right. Holding statically in the centre if and when you're ready. Then when you're happy with the core engaged, recover yourself into a tabletop. Tuck your toes, spread the fingers, grip into the mat and press back into downward dog. Have a little walk if it feels nice. You won't be here for long. And when you're happy, just walk the hands towards you so you end up in a forward fold. Let the head and shoulders drip down. If you're really tight, rest your forearms onto your thighs or put your hands onto a block or Just rest and bend the knees. Let the head and shoulders drip down. Lift the hips high, tense the thighs. Maybe have a little sway of the hips. Your hands forward so you end up in a tabletop. Once in the tabletop, sit back onto your heels, roll off to one side and sweep the legs forward. Once you're there, we're just going to come into a diamond legs, large diamond shape with the legs, walk the buttocks backwards. Pull the fleshy bits out of the way so you can feel the seat bones anchor. You can always sit onto a block or a cushion if you have one or anything else. Place your hands into the centre, and when you're happy, inhale, lengthen through the back. Draw yourself forward so you feel the pelvis tilt forward, and then lower yourself into the centre. Maybe hitching those braces up if it feels good. Nice and slow. Settling into the centre if and when you're ready. Engaged, inhale, come halfway up, and then exhale, walk yourself back upright. Just extend the legs forward so you can lower yourself down onto your back. Tight little ball, knees to your chest, head to the knees, have a little rock from side to side. If you're struggling to draw the knees in, cross the legs or the ankles and let the knees flare around your torso. If this is enough, you can stay here, otherwise come into your happy baby, releasing the feet or the legs and taking hold of the feet. If you can't hold them, then your ankles or your shins or even the backs of your thighs, just so you can draw the knees down either side of the chest. Soles the feet facing to the ceiling. Try and have the legs as wide, if not wider than the shoulders. You may enjoy a little rock from side to side or playing with the position of the legs, strengthening one, then the other, drawing the knees down. Big breaths. Working the lower back towards the floor. Then when you're happy with the core engaged, release the legs and stretch out like a giant cat. Reach the arms above you, straighten the legs, reach away, press the lower back into the floor, big stretch. Then from here, with the core engaged, exhale, sweep the arms down by your sides. Bring the feet onto the mat so your knees are pointed to the ceiling, arms drawn down or shoulder blades drawn down. And then slowly start to windscreen wipe the legs, nice and slow. Looking over the opposite shoulders to the knees. Tensing the core in case your back's tighter than you realised. And when you're happy, next time the legs go over to the right hand side, let the legs fold over to the right, looking over the left shoulder and breathe into the twist. If you need to support yourself by placing something underneath the right leg, then do. Otherwise, breathe into that rotation on the top of that left hip flexor. Engage, bring the knees back into the centre. And then exhale, let them fold over to the left, looking over the right shoulder, drawing the shoulder blade down. Then when you're happy with the core engaged, bring yourself back into the centre on the next inhale. And then exhale, draw yourself into a tight little ball just to release the back. Knees to the chest, head to the knees, have a rock again if it feels good. And then from here, release the legs. And then we're going to take hold of the right knee, extend the left leg if it feels good, or otherwise keep it bent, and then draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Again, that may give you a nice little stretch in that right buttock. Or you can take the right knee across towards the left shoulder, breathing into it, maybe getting that stretch into your right buttock. If this doesn't quite give you a deep enough stretch, then just create a figure of four by crossing the right leg over the left, reaching the right hand between the legs, binding on the back of the left thigh, and draw the left knee towards the shoulder. Go a little bit deeper by even placing or binding the hands on the left shin and doing the same stretch, pressing the left knee or drawing the left knee to the left shoulder. Engage, release the legs. And then we'll do the opposite side. So we're going to draw the left knee in to start. You may be tighter on the side without realising. So either straighten the right leg or keep it bent. Draw the left knee to the left shoulder. Again, that may be enough. Or if you want to go a little bit deeper, take the left knee across to the right shoulder. Again, if this is not enough, create the figure of four, left leg over the right, reaching the left hand between the legs, binding on the back of the right thigh or the right shin and drawing the right knee to the right shoulder. Right knee, right shoulder. Big breaths. Or engage, release the legs and roll onto your right hand side. Once on your right hand side, support the head with the right arm, both legs straight. Draw the left heel behind the left buttock, taking hold of the foot or the ankle or the shins or even the toes, or use a strap if you need or a towel. Press the left foot away. Press the hips forward. Try and keep the knees together or hips width apart and breathe into the front of that left thigh. Engage, release the left leg, roll onto your tummy and adjust yourself into the centre of your mat. We're going to do a little back bend. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows tucked in, legs together. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, squeeze the buttocks and thighs, press the tummy into the floor, and on the inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades down, squeeze the elbows in towards the side of the torso. You can go a little bit deeper out of the hands if you want to go deeper. And then when you're ready, anchor the knees and exhale, press back into a child's pose. Press out of the fingertips. You can flare the knees if you want. You won't be here long. And when you're ready, on the next inhale, come forward back onto your tummy. And we're going to do the opposite side. So roll onto your left hand side. Support the head. Bring the right leg behind you. Take hold of the foot. Press the foot away. Press the hips forward. So we're doing the opposite side of our quads now. Big breaths. Release the right leg. Roll back onto your back. Come back into a tight little ball. Knees to the chest, head to the knees. Squeeze it tight. Release the legs, place the hands behind the backs of the knees, start to rock the length of the mat, or just sit yourself up. Then just come into either a cross-legged posture, or I'll show you the variant in a moment for if you can't sit cross-legged. If you are sitting cross-legged, inhale the arms above you, and then exhale, twist to the left. Left hand down behind you, right hand on the outside of the left leg. Sit tall, look over the left shoulder and breathe into it. If your legs are straight, then I invite you to cross the left leg over the right and then use the right arm against the left leg to twist, breathing into that rotation. Exactly the same, try and sit tall. If you're in the cross-legged variety, come back into the center on the next inhale and exhale, twist to the right. Right hand down behind you, left hand on the outside of the left leg. Breathe into that rotation. If your legs are straight, just straighten both and then cross the right leg over the left, right hand down behind you and use the left arm on the right leg to do the equivalent rotation, making a conscious effort to sit tall. Big breaths. Back in the center, reach high. If you're cross-legged, then on the exhale, forward fold. If you've got straight legs, just create a diamond-shaped legs with the legs, like we did earlier, and then do the same forward fold into the center. So whether you're cross-legged or a diamond legs, so strike the balance between supporting yourself with your arms and also deepening the stretch, and maybe hitch those shoulders up again. So if you've got those braces on over the shoulders to the waistband and you're creating space, you can do this either cross-legged or diamond, or even straight if that's all you can manage today. Engage on the next inhale, come all the way up and walk yourself back upright. And we'll finish off there.